So I'm aware that I haven't posted a video in quite some time. There's a reason for that. That I don't have any new material or even wood that I can do anything with, but I do have these now. Some packages wrapped in like really old looking paper. So let's take off the old looking paper. And under the old looking paper we have these, which are some sort of carving tools that I found on eBay. Never seen anything like this before. I just happened to stumble across it on eBay and said, to hell with it, I'll buy it. They were only like, I don't know, 15 euros or something like that. But they're very interesting little carving tools. Look like almost sort of mini chisels. Made in Czechoslovakia, which means that they're at least 23 years old, because that's how long Czechoslovakia has been out of business. I've never heard of the brand Kin before. K-I-N is listed as the brand there. I'm not quite sure, but I think that might actually be Koh-i-Noor, the pencil office supply company, because I've seen different office supplies that have been branded with K-I-N, Kin, and I think it just might be an abbreviation for Koh-i-Noor. I'm not actually sure. If anyone knows, they can let me know in the comments. So let's have a closer look at these. Came in very nice fuzzy packages. If you like fuzzy things, well then these might be the tools for you. Except that I'm probably just going to throw that away. So there's 3 different tips that we've got here. This seems to be some kind of a, I don't know, skew chisel. And we've got what appears to be some kind of a fishtail of some kind. Not really sure what that one is. Looks almost like some kind of a double-bladed. I wonder if that might actually be some kind of a reamer or something like that. Designed for making holes or very precise tiny cuts. Here's a closer look at the, what I guess would be considered a fishtail. Here's that little skew chisel. They don't seem to be particularly sharp. I mean, I guess if I rammed it into my finger, it would rend my flesh, but let's test it. Doesn't seem to be very sharp at all, actually. I mean, new tools out of the box aren't always, that's not surprising, that's not shocking. And there's that fishtail, which is, no, that's definitely not sharp at all. And there's this thing, whatever this would be called. If anyone knows what that would be called, tell me. I'd be curious to know. Maybe some kind of a detail knife? For reaming, maybe? I guess it could be used to drill a hole. It's probably more likely to be a detail tool. I think that might be more what it is. Of course, it's not particularly sharp either, so let's sharpen these things. Steel seems to sharpen very quickly. Of course, it is a very small blade, and this is a diamond stone, which is very aggressive. I like that they've got this plastic here, because it means that there's no water that's going to be getting into the wood. Although I guess water could still get into the plastic and rust the blade. Oh, we'll see how this turns out. This one, I'm really not sure how I should sharpen this. I think I'll have to do that one with the paddles later. I'll just flip this over and do the other two on the medium grit. I'm going to try stropping these, but I'm not even sure if that's going to work. This isn't a particularly good piece of basswood, but that seems to have worked out quite well. I'm still not sure what it is you're supposed to do with this tool. So now that we've got some micro tools, let's do some micro carving. Let's make something small. Okay, so that's that done. Let me just say a little bit about these tools. So I finished up with my file chisel, which, I would normally do anyway, even if I was using a knife, because those finer details can't really do with some, well, I suppose you could do it with something like this, but I will say that I really like this small skew. This worked out really well for, like, you know, digging in and hogging away wood, and also for putting in some of the smaller details as well. For something like these tiny little eyes and like the little gap for the mouth, which I haven't really finished up very well here, something like this little spear point actually works really well, and for like digging away, you know, little bits and pieces if you need to do something like that. Now, as for this fishtail thing, I don't know if I didn't really put a very good edge on it or something like that, but I didn't find it very useful. Not for something like this anyway. I'm sure it might have a use, maybe if you're doing like a more three-dimensional sculpture, like maybe like carving in hands or something like that, like small, tiny, detailed hands. I don't know, I'll have to try and use it a little bit more and see what I can do with it. But I don't know, that one didn't really suit for this purpose. There was nothing I could really use it for. And of course, it only works, you know, right-handed, whereas the skew, you know, I could flip it over and go from any side. And as well as this little thing, which actually, you know, even though I didn't use it that much, served its purpose really well for picking out those little details. So, you know, maybe I'll get some more use out of those, but I'll definitely experiment a bit with them. So that's it for that. If you want, some people have said, you know, on the channel, why don't you do videos where like it's slowed down so we can see you doing the different details and things like that. And what I'll do for this pencil, if you click on the card up in the top right corner, where's my hand? Up in the top right corner there, well, I'll put a little link to it where you can basically see me just carving this pencil. I'll put it as a private video if anyone really wants to watch me do the whole process of that in like normal speed. So if that's the thing you're into, you can go and click on that right now. Okay, so that's those Keen, possibly Koh-i-Noor chisels made in Czechoslovakia, these vintage pencils with their tiny little tips, and making a tiny little sculpture with it. Okay, thanks for watching.